When you truly say that something is truly expensive, when you genuinely say that something is not truly worth the cost, you're actually talking about yourself in a very real sense. Literally, truly, quite literally. When something has a certain price and you don't allow it to have that value, you're not allowing yourself to have that value. Well, for example, when something costs a certain amount and you say, this is overpriced, it's expensive, something's wrong with it. Then, in turn, you also sell something. Offer some services at a certain price. And you'll run into the same thing. People will also tell you that what you do is expensive, that it's not worth it. The connection is insanely direct. When something costs a certain amount, I don't see any difference. No matter how much it costs, it is what it is, and it costs what it costs. Is the number 200,000 really more valuable than the number 100? Or than a billion? Is there really something more valuable there when it's all just one thing? But if you believe that there is something more or less valuable, that's what you'll experience. This doesn't just apply to money, it applies to everything in general. Now, I'm going to start doing this. I'll draw a little. So in general, within the complex and often competitive world of finance, let me remind you that people are typically accustomed to the idea of steadily progressing and growing up some kind of professional or hierarchical ladder, much like they are diligently climbing a long and winding staircase, step by step, towards their ultimate career aspirations. Like first, I don't know, let's say $1,000, then perhaps 10,000, or maybe even 5,000, two, then three, then four, five. In short, it's some kind of stair-step system. First, you're a consultant, then a manager. You always have to develop step by step. This way of thinking, it's generally ingrained in humanity, that this is how it should be. In other words, humanity is a system. And it's generally implemented on the scale of all humanity. And people believe that this is how it should be. Consciousness, by virtue of its absoluteness, comes to know itself within this system. And everyone around acts this way too. But in reality, why do I so often say that I am not a teacher, not a master, not a guru, and so on? Because what is there for you to learn or to teach someone? Because everything is one. Every word is just a given. I am not teaching anything. It is simply being spoken, and you are not learning anything. You just hear something and then it happens. It's just some kind of picture unfolding. But imagine, a movie has been filmed. It's playing on TV. Who is teaching whom there? It's just a filmed movie, but it happens. And in the mind, someone thinks they're learning something or teaching someone else. But God doesn't need any of this. He has nothing to learn and no one to learn from. He is everywhere here. He is one. It is one, it knows everything, and it is manifested in all things. And you need, so to speak, not to forget yourself, not to forget who you truly are. But this system within humanity is very engaging. Everyone speaks a language. Everyone believes in some kind of choice, but even within what humanity has, what kind of choice is there really? Everyone chooses which language to speak from those they've been given. All the choices are within the range of options that have been provided. No one creates their own language. Everyone speaks the ones they've been given. Everyone chooses what to drink from the range of options they've been given, which university to go to, from the range of options they've been given, what clothes to wear, which clothing brand. All your choices consist of the options that have been provided to you. Humanity loves to live in the illusion of choice. They even vote for politicians, that is, among the options that have been provided. Among those options, yes, exactly. And yet it's also obvious. So they came up with a system. They invented money, came up with different things like the education system, a whole bunch of stuff, including this career ladder, the career system, so that everyone would believe in it and depend on it, depend on money. Even God depends on money, worrying that he might run out of it. And that's how they cultivated such a mindset inside people. They show it, show it, show it, show it, instill it, instill it, instill it over and over again. Everyone around believes in it. And that's it. And by the power of absoluteness, they come to know themselves as such. They save up, put money aside for someday. Some people even save up for their own funeral. I live in the bank every day and just can't manage to spend it. It's simply impossible to handle. It just keeps flowing in and flowing in. There's no such knowledge that something ever runs out. Do you ever think about how much you need to breathe today so you'll have enough for tomorrow? I don't think about how much I need to breathe today so I'll have enough for tomorrow. No, oxygen is infinite, money is infinite. That is, everything is continuous, everything exists in abundance. And moreover, it can't exist without you. When you remember and realize that you are the only one here, that nothing can exist without you. All money, all concepts exist only because you exist. And everything exists. It might not fit in your mind because of its limitations, but everything is actually quite simple. When the body goes to sleep, the world disappears completely. And a new world appears within you, a dream, like a dream, right? So, in fact, there is no real difference between what you see in a dream and call a dream and what you see now and call reality or something like that. It's exactly the same, the very same theme. One arises. Consciousness manifests as this picture here, and consciousness manifests as a different picture there. And as long as you exist, it is within you, manifested from you, and everything is you. And you are simply identified with thoughts, with the character inside the dream that you yourself have manifested. So, everything exists in the dream only because you exist. At a certain level, if you move away from all these programs, let's call them programs like the idea that money runs out or doesn't run out, or that there are illnesses. What is all this? These are just programs, ideas that are embedded in consciousness. And you believe in them, and through that you come to know the power of your own absoluteness. If from birth you were told that you are a billionaire and that money is infinite, you would know it. You would know everything completely differently. If from birth you were taught to levitate, to visualize and so on, and were told that it was possible, then you would be able to realize it. Because everything is manifested by the One, and God has infinite potential. There are absolutely no limits at all. So this is the so-called career ladder, and this gradual increase in income. Especially when a person wants, say, to earn a certain amount, like 1,000,000 rubles a month or some other sum, and thinks that they need to do something specific for that. First 100,000, then 200,000, then 300,000, then 400,000, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, and only then will he reach 1,000,000. That's madness. These are just completely different points. They're different points. That is to say, it's like, let's say you want to talk to, so 1,000,000 rubles, that's Igor, for example. And you want to talk to Igor. Or maybe it's Igor, or maybe it's a banana, I don't know. You want to eat the banana. But before you eat the banana, you go and eat a mango, then a kiwi, then a watermelon, then something else, and more and more. And by then you're already exhausted, you can't eat anymore. You see what I mean? It's literally like that, exactly the same. It's just that you don't see it in the numbers. But why don't you see it? Because that's how they taught him to see it. But what is a banana? Just a sound. What is 1,000,000 rubles? Just a sound, just a thought. How are they different from each other? They're not. In reality, they're not different at all. Who creates the difference? I create the difference. The letter I. It creates the difference between the word banana, Igor, 1,000,000 rubles, 1,000,000,000 rubles. It creates the difference and perceives these differences, but they don't exist in reality. They're just some letters, sounds, thoughts. Their composition, their deeper composition is the same. The same, always remember, don't forget about unity. As soon as you forget about unity, so to speak, about the fact that everything is one, that's when the madness begins. That's it. The difference arises. Something more or less valuable appears. There's no such thing as 200,000, 300 to 400,000 being more valuable than one. There's no such thing, because absolutely everything is truly unique, perfectly formed in the exact way it currently exists. It's different. It's just all different. So when you truly want, let's say, to interact with Igor for a significant sum of 1 million rubles, dollars, or even bananas, before you actually do that, you first meticulously go and interact with one important person, then another, and after carefully meeting 4, 5, 6, 7, or even 8 different people, then that's madness. Look, here's how it could be. You exist, and right now all possibilities exist at once. It's not even that there are no options. You, me, we all exist. Right now, the past, the future, the present, they're all now. They're all eternal. Right now, it's all happening now. And you can easily and directly interact with ego almost instantly. Instantly, wherever you are. But for that, you have to stop giving things meaning inside yourself. Stop really assigning importance. Meaning, giving something importance isn't about writing long comments like, oh, this is so cool. Now I'm doing this. I'm observing. Some thoughts come up and you say, no, that's not how it works. It's happening within you. You see it inside yourself, within your very being. And it's like you dissolve this thing. By the way, how do you dissolve it? Well, when we meditate, that's exactly what dissolves it. You sit there and that's it. In meditation, you see yourself say 1,000,000 rubles or whatever else comes up, and you observe some kind of emotional or sensory response. Something arises, whether it's good or bad, some comments, descriptions, some kind of evaluative judgment appears, that it's expensive or cheap. You observe this thing and it dissolves. You burn it away inside yourself. You burn it completely away. So for example, at the very beginning, when this opportunity opened up for me, it was like some kind of integration was happening. Well, at first there was a difference when you looked at one person and then at another. As if there was a different emotional and sensory response, a different perception. When you hear one sound and then another, when there used to be a different attitude toward this body and this napkin, this body and this t-shirt, it was like they were different. Now it's all merged. There are no distinctions between thoughts, between phenomena, and so on. It's all one in experience. But if there is, and that's just how it happens, you feel that there's some special attitude from someone toward this sound. What is it that creates such peace? It's because there's no one to be affected, and there's nothing like that here. No matter what sound is heard, it is. Everything is simply as it is. Everything abides with itself. And that's it. You simply abide with yourself, and everything happens just as it is. So it's not necessary to climb the career ladder. Here you are, and all possibilities are around you. The entire infinite potential. Moreover, if you were totally and completely unknowing, truly totally unknowing, really, it's as if consciousness itself has profoundly manifested, and it genuinely knows absolutely nothing at all, nothing that humanity knows. None of what? Then you could literally fly, do anything, even create planets. And that's exactly what you do. In fact, at a certain point in your other manifestations, so to speak. And the whole point is that, by virtue of your absoluteness, you know yourself as you know yourself to be. You perceive the world as you know it,